All right, everybody, we're going to start right now. Okay, let me turn the music down a little bit. Okay, so gonna go over today's price action as well as the trade that I got into on the 2-hour challenge. The result of that trade, setup I saw, all that stuff. As a reminder, this is the TTrades Discord 2-hour challenge that he has going on. Basically, the idea is that we're going to be trading one kill zone, one setup, 2R fixed risk, not fixed risk, but fixed risk to reward, I guess. Yeah, hold on one second, guys. Trying to keep an eye on my dog because he's been getting into this mulch in the back. So the camera's up. All right, so fixed risk to reward, a 2R setup. You either hit stop loss or you hit TP. My risk varies depending on the setup because my setup that I'm going with is just a 5-minute change of state delivery at a key time. So I'm looking for New York Open 5-minute change of state delivery, and I'm pretty much just taking the first one that I see that makes sense. So hopefully it's towards the daily bias that I have, or maybe we have we've gone towards the daily objective and maybe hit it and put in a change state of direction, state of delivery for a retracement or something like that. So 5-minute CISDs, and I'm just doing New York Open, New York morning kill zone. All right, so this is day 6. Last week I had 2 losses and 1 win. One of the losses didn't actually stop me out because of some UI glitch on Top Step X. So I ended up taking a very small win. So I cut it as soon as I saw. But effectively, 2 losses, 1 win last week. Today, we did well. We started the new week with a win. So here's the morning. I'm typically trading in Q, MNQ on this account. I'm actually doing a 50K XFA account that I have. I'm trading that. So I'm doing 2 MNQ contracts as my risk. And I base the stop off of the change of state delivery setup, basically. So we'll go through how the action looked this morning. So as you can see, it's a Monday, right? So we had a little, it's basically some waves of consolidation, right? London came up, took Asia high. Usually when this happens, this is like a classic sell day, I guess, sort of, kind of, but it's fairly weak, right? It's mainly just this little wave, right? So drawn liquidity that I had for the day was previous week high. So since that was still out there, I decided to have a bullish bias today, this morning. As you can see, New York Open, we had no news today. So New York opened at a slightly awkward spot, like right in the middle of this accumulation. We had a little bit of a sweep of the lows and put in the change in say delivery. As far as I was concerned, that's what I basically saw. I saw a sweep and then close over here to create kind of like an order block here. But the difficult thing here is it really wasn't a 5-minute setup, right? However, I still took it. So we actually got in a long position with a stop at the after 9:30, a stop on that low, and we did fix 2R. And you can see there, I typically would do the body of what I would call the order block. Now, this wasn't really a good 5-minute order block, right? Because it didn't take liquidity. I guess the better 5-minute order block would be like this candle series here. Honestly, it wasn't really a 5-minute setup, but that's my strategy for this challenge. So, I'm going with what I got. And so, yeah, I took this mainly because the bias I believed was right. And, you got to be fine with maybe it's not going to work out perfectly like you hope, but you take your risk when it makes sense. And I thought this made sense. So if we look at the 1 minute, so this is not how I traded, but I did notice this. On the 1 minute, it was a pretty good like smart money reversal type of situation, right? From taking London lows. And then it dug in to that. Here's the real order block, right? Now you can take the whole series like this. Doesn't really hold up too well, or you can just say like this one, right? That looks pretty good. On a smart money reversal, I mean, what you're really thinking about is you got a little bit of a breaker that didn't hold, and then you have this like BPR kind of situation. It wasn't the cleanest, but it came down here, sweeping this low right there, just a sweep, and then putting in this displacement candle here. This is what really gave me confidence. I said, okay, we're actually looking good now. We had a displacement breaking this high, breaking this, sweeping, right? So this swept this low in this order block, and then it was displaced over, right? Then we have a swing high in the fair value gap right there, right? So you see the fair value gap displaced over that swing high, and this was the real good entry here, digging into that fair value gap, and as you can see, it took off. Now, one thing to note, power of three. Talk about power of three, right? On the higher time frames, this was a New York manipulation leg. So that trade worked out. That's great. I feel great about it. But we're always trying to think about the bigger picture, right? So let's look back at the hourly for today. And if you look at the hourly, you'll see that overnight we had this accumulation, right? The accumulation looks more like an accumulation when you look at the hourly, right? Had this sweep and manipulation leg, right? This is a manipulation leg. Now it's a manipulation leg into our high time frame drawn liquidity, previous week high, right? And then we got a dump back down. If we look at the 15-minute, we got some pretty good setups here. When it comes to the 15-minute structurally is looking pretty good. Manipulation. You can catch the short down here. And then entry on the 1 minute. This actually, over lunch, was a really good sweep of an intermediate term high. Oh, my dog just took off. All right, I'm going to have to wrap this up a little bit, get my dog under control, but we did have these equal highs right above a fair value gap and a breaker, right? So this was a really clean short setup this morning after the manipulation phase. Yeah, that's it. Came down pretty well, and we're entering tomorrow a little bearish. Still sort of high time frame structure. If you look at the daily, very much bullish, but I'm looking to come back in maybe this order block here. I think this would be a propulsion block. So anyway, hope you enjoyed. If you're interested in the challenge, join TTrades free Discord community. Got a bunch of people in there doing this challenge. It's pretty fun. So come check it out. Happy trading. Have a good night.